G'day Internet, welcome back to another video. So as I'm recording this, Canberra is still in lockdown, which means I've been doing a little bit of impulse buying online because, well, what else are you going to do? So I have added another computer to the collection, and it is this. This here is an Atari 1040 ST-FM. It is quite yellowed, but I'm told fully tested and working. We'll see how we go. So if you haven't already realised, I am quite the eclectic collector of vintage computers. I have I've got some nostalgic favourites, obviously like the Dick Smith System 80, which you will see one day, and the Sega Master System, because that was my first console. But for the most part, my journey, I suppose, into vintage computing has been to go back and discover all the computers that I basically missed in my childhood. You've got to realise that my family's computers were basically Dick Smith System 80, TRS-80 Model 4, EGA 286 PC. I kind of missed out on a lot of the fun stuff, so I never had a Commodore 64 or any of that kind of stuff. And one machine I've never had is an Atari ST, so I really wanted to check it out. And let's be honest, Control-Alt-Reese's enthusiasm for the machine has probably helped a lot. So let's take a closer look at the machine, see what condition's in, give it a couple of tests, and then I think give it a thorough cleanup, and we'll start from there. Well, that's the cover off, and we are greeted with what seems to be a sea of RF shielding. So the first thing I actually want to check out is voltages out of the power supply before I power this thing on. Now, like I said, it has been tested, but it's just something I simply like to do myself anyway. So we have our power supply board, and this seems to be the connector just here. So I shall grab a multimeter and see what voltages we're getting out of it. Multimeter at the ready, let's give it some power, and I think I need to come in on the back of this plug, but where are we? Well, there's 5 volts, and depending on how my chopstick skills are letting me down, and 11.14 doesn't seem right. What if I use 11.14? I'm going to go do some research to see if that's actually kind of normal or not. Okay, research tells me, well, a first link on a Google search, is that the 12 volt, from memory, 12 volt needs about 2 amps, 12 volt much less. 12 volt line isn't really needed at all. Only older floppy drives use it, and if you're using a Gotek or something else, you don't need it at all. Right, so I guess when we come to test the floppy drive, we'll know if that is enough or not. Right, cover is back on after testing said power supply. Before you say anything, the 0 key, if you hadn't noticed already, is missing, but I do have one coming. It was missing when I bought it. It's not broken, the stem's still there, it's just missing, no idea why. Oh, by the way, I got the monitor with it as well. It is the SC1224 12-inch RGB colour monitor, which is very nice. I like having matching equipment, but you'll probably notice the colour difference between the two. The monitor doesn't seem to have yellowed much at all, but you can see how yellow the ST is. So we are going to have to do something about that. But there's no point getting into that if we don't have a working machine. So, right, power on. White screen. It's seeking the disk. It's still seeking the disk. Actually, I think these things take a while before they give up on the floppy disk drive, don't they? Before they boot into gem. Right, I guess we will wait. Aha, we're there. Right, I don't actually have a mouse plugged in it at the moment, but, well, it boots to TOS or gem or the desktop, whatever Atari people call it. So that's a good sign. Now, I have actually managed to write one game to disk, which is Turrican, because I watch a lot of Yarn Beta. So, disk in, let's hit restart. Oh, okay. We seem to have... no, I don't want trainer. Before I speak too soon. We seem to have a working floppy drive. So that's kind of cool. I don't know how much longer I'll keep said floppy drive because I've got no software for this thing, but it seems to work. So we have a working Atari ST, a very yellowed working Atari ST, and I think we should do something about that. So I'm now going to strip this thing to its underwear, give it a thorough scrub, and put it out for retrobriding. So how about a bit of a montage? And there we go, one very clean and tested Atari 1040 ST FM. I'm actually really happy with the way it turned out. It did get a slight coat of Protectant 303 just to kind of bring a bit of the shine back to it. And all in all, it's all working and happy. But like I said, I'm completely new to STs. This is literally the first time I've ever touched one. So what I would like to know is, where do I go from here? What games can you recommend for the ST? I'm hoping in the next video to have a special guest that's hopefully going to also point me in the right direction, but we'll have to wait until then. But for now, that'll pretty much do it. If you like the video, click like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. If you'd like to help support the channel, I am now on Patreon, just like these wonderful people just here. And I'll see you in the next one. Right, wasn't bad. An entire Atari ST video and I didn't mention the Amiga once. Fuck.